of the political community. You don't believe me? Let me show you. Citizen. In the capacity of a citizen, you do not have the constitutional protections that you might think you have. I'm going to prove it to you right here. Watch this. All right, let's go back to Black's Law. Oh, my alarm's going off. What am I missing? All right, so look, citizen. What does it say right here? You tell me what you think. Citizen. Nice and big for you, for all the dissenters who want to argue with me here. Let's see. What does it say? Oh, that's not citizen, first of all. Hold on. It says, one who under the Constitution. So first of all, your proximity is beneath the Constitution. Okay? You're not above it. Okay? You're underneath it. Now, what is the Constitution? What is the Constitution? You know what the Constitution is? If the citizen is so-called under it, the founding fathers made this document, didn't they? Didn't they? Yeah, they made that document. Okay? Not for foreigners or whatever like that. In fact, we know that Dred Scott, when he tried to sue his slave master in the Dred Scott case, 1857, they told him straight out, you can't use our courts to sue your slave master, because why? Because you're not considered under the Constitution as a citizen of the United States. You see, there was only certain people who were considered citizens of the United States. And it was not the African Americans and other foreigners that came over. Only the ilk in line with the founding fathers and their progeny, their business partners, tycoons, right? Supposedly and allegedly came over from England. So a citizen is one who, under the Constitution and laws of the United States. Why do they say and the laws of the United States? Did you think that the Constitution was the law of the United States? They are not one and the same. The Constitution is the charter, aka the trust indenture. First of all, remember, it's the public trust. And the laws of the United States are aka federal laws. Yeah, the laws that are written by the legislature, the third branch of the U.S. government, right? See, they're not one and the same if you didn't know. The Constitution is not the law of the United States. It's the trust indenture. The federal law is the law of the United States. It says, so the citizen is under the Constitution and under the laws of the United States. Federal law. Now, ask yourself a question. Ask yourself a question. Who writes the laws for the Constitution? For the United States. It's the legislative branch, as I previously stated, right? So the Congress is its name, the name of the legislative body of the United States, correct? Well, if you've been around here for any amount of time, you'll know that the Congress, which is the legislative branch of the United States that writes the laws of the United States, was given plenary power over what? Yeah, commerce and trade. So the legislative branch, the Congress of the United States, has all power when it comes to commerce and commercial activity. It regulates commercial activities in the United States, right? So this citizen is under the laws, the statutes of the Congress. So this must be a commercial entity, or aka a legal entity. Because that's the only type of entity regulated by commerce, which is in the fictional realm. We just established that in the beginning, remember? All right, moving on. Look, this citizen, or of a particular state. A state is a juror society. Remember I showed you that? Yeah, it's sanctioned under positive law. Positive law does not regulate humans. So this can't be a human. It's a member of the political community. Remember I said a state, by definition, is a political community. What is a political community? It's sanctioned under positive. Oh, y'all don't believe me. Hold on. Y'all don't believe me? Let me show you something. Uh-oh, my bad. Let me show you something. Watch this. I don't believe me. Let me show you. We've done this many a times. Look at legal Black's Law Dictionary. Look at the definition of jural. You see? Can you see that? Okay. Look at. Watch this. Look way down. So this is jural. Okay. Pertaining to natural or positive right, or to the doctrines of rights and obligations. Who has rights and obligations? Citizens. Right? They're called civil and political rights. You gain those, or the citizen gains those upon an act of incorporation into the state. In other words, you took the benefit of a citizen, the benefits and privileges, and in exchange, you get what? Rights and obligations. Look, as jural relations. Watch this. Of or pertaining to jurisprudence. I told you, American law, the legal system, jurisprudence. Of or pertaining to juristic. See the root, the prefix jur, or the root jur, jural, juridical. See right here again? These are types of persons, legal persons. Watch, you'll see. Jural is recognized or sanctioned by positive law. I told you. Positive law is what? Enactments of the legislature, aka statutes. Embraced within or covered by the rules and enactments of the positive law. These are statutes, the rules and enactments of positive law. These are statutes, codes, and ordinances. Who writes the statutes? The third branch of government, the legislative branch. On the federal level, it's called the Congress. Thus, the jural sphere, there's a whole sphere, y'all. Did y'all know that? That's half of a circle. Is to be distinguished from the moral sphere. There's the other half of the circle. So now you got to put the two pieces together. You got a whole circle, don't you? 360 degrees. So there's two. The jural having to do with what? Juridical, the jurisprudence, the American law system, the legal system. That's one half of the circle. What's the other half then? Distinguished from the moral sphere. Remember, I told you there's the dividing line. I showed it to you. I'll show it to you again. Look right there. Remember, I showed you the dividing line? See it? One sphere is over here. This is the jural sphere. It said positive law, enactments of the legislature, statutes, codes, and ordinances of the state. That's in the, you see it, jural sphere. So what's the other sphere? If this is one half of the circle, there's another half over here. This is the moral sphere, natural law, where humans reside. Do you see the difference? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Yeah, exactly. Watch this. Let's get back. Watch this. I'm good at this. I'm bad at this, good at this, however you want to look at it. Let's go back. Look, they're going to tell you. The latter, right here, that means the moral sphere. Remember, they're making a distinction, that they're showing you the difference between the two. The moral sphere, where humans are, denoting the whole scope or range of ethics or the science of conduct. I told you, natural law governs human conduct. Positive law does not. It does the opposite. Remember, they're making a distinction. And they told you what type of persons are on this side of the sphere. Jurisprudence, legal persons, law persons. Jurisprudence is the law, the American law system. Juristic persons. Troy, you wanted to make the distinction between yourself, a human, in the moral sphere, natural law. You wanted to make the distinction between the juridical persons, the legal persons, under American law system, jurisprudence. You wanted to know. So I'm showing you. You wanted evidence. I'm giving you the facts. That's how we do here at Knowledge Well Media. All right, so moving on. The latter denoting the whole scope of range, okay, science of conduct. We read that. The former, meaning the jural sphere, what does it do? It embraces only such portions of the same. What portions of what? Science of conduct, ethics, as have been made the subject of legal sanction. Huh? It's limited to only what jurisprudence governs over. What is jurisprudence? The American law system, the legal system. The jurosphere embraces, only such portions of the same as have been made the subject of legal sanction or recognition. Look at, watch. What is jural? What is the jurosphere? It's founded in law. It is not law. It is founded in law. Are you picking up what they're putting down? Look, it is organized upon the basis of a fundamental law. It is organized upon fundamental law. What is fundamental law? Natural law. Yeah, I'm making a distinction for you. I'm showing you. Legal is not the same as lawful. Jurosphere is one half of the circle that deals with law persons, juristic and juridical persons. Look, an existing jurosphere, existing for the recognition and protection of rights. What did I tell you? What do citizens get? When you join a particular state or a government and become a citizen thereof, in exchange for your allegiance, you get rights, protections, civil and political rights. You see? And in closing, look, thus the term jural society is used as the synonym of state. You read it here, you hear it here. If you live in a state or call yourself a citizen of a state, you are saying you are a citizen of the jural society. What's the jural society? Well, it's in the jurosphere. Oh, well, that means it must be something distinguished or separate and distinct from the moral sphere where humans live. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Houston, we've got a problem. Listen, y'all, listen. A state is a jural society. It is also an organized political community. Uh-oh. Listen, a member of the political community. A political community, as you just saw, is what? A state. What's a state? A jural society. What's the significance of a jural society? Well, it is distinct from the moral sphere. Well, what is the moral sphere about? Ethics and the science of conduct. What kind of conduct? Here you go. I'm glad you asked. Let me show you what type of conduct, because they're going to say it right here in the House of Representatives, Office of the Law Revision Council right here, positive law. They're going to tell you whose conduct or what conduct. Look, in general, the term positive law, we talked about that, right? Connotes statutes. What are statutes? Law that has been enacted by the legislature. Da, 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 da. I told you. Look, as used in this sense, positive law is, there it is again. They tell you again, in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let every word be established, right? Positive law is distinguished from what? Natural law, where the moral sphere, remember back here it said that jural sphere is distinguished from the moral sphere. The jural sphere is where legal persons of law, fictional entities, artificial entities, commercial entities reside. In Freddy Krueger land, what they call the dream state. Freddy Krueger was only able to get you when you were in a dream state. Let me ask you a question. Are you woke today? Or are you in a dream state? Come here, kitty, kitty. Remember that? Freddy Krueger with the long nails. Come here, kitty, kitty. That was crazy. But anyways, going back. So it says, again, positive law is distinguishable from natural law. Look, the term natural law, especially as used in generally in legal philosophy, refers to a set of universal principles. Yes, that means natural law universally applies to all human beings. You know, you might know it today as international human rights laws. Yes, yes, where they protect the natural rights of human beings. Look, a set of universal principles and rules. This is natural law. Don't get it twisted. We're making the distinction between that and positive law, which are statutes. Now, look, natural law properly governs moral human conduct. Where did we see that before? I'm glad you asked. Look, it says that the moral sphere, okay, denoting the whole scope or range of ethics or the science of conduct. This is what the moral sphere does. It's about regulation of the science of conduct. And now we know that it is human conduct that it regulates. Are you picking up what I had just put down? Because that's probably the baddest thing going right now out here in the digital world. Remember where you heard it. Now you're going to hear it a whole lot of other places. But always come back home, baby. Hey, look.